Hey guys, welcome to the business webinar. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to be discussing today the top 20 to 30, I want to say just top 25 general business questions that I've been asked. I've picked from a list of questions that was sent in previously, and I just picked the most common ones and we're going to answer them today. This is geared towards startups or just people who are new to entrepreneurship, and it gives you an idea of what to expect when you're starting or, let's say, trying to grow your business. So I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes for more people to arrive, and then we're going to dive right into answering these questions. There is a green chat button at the bottom of, well, right underneath this video, where you can just click open and join the live chat. It's like a live group chat through WhatsApp. If you do have WhatsApp, you can access that, or you can just download the app. So throughout the session, feel free to pop in any additional questions there and we can hopefully answer it. And if not, we'll definitely answer it in a part 2. We're gonna have a part 2 to this session, answering even more business related questions. So while we wait, feel free to open up that live chat, click the green button, say hello to other members, network if you want, and definitely you can ask any additional questions there and we can hopefully get them answered today or just shortly. So let's give everyone a couple of minutes. And I guess while we wait, I can just introduce myself briefly. That's a good idea. So my name is Janelle McClarty. I am a business consultant and web designer from Canada. I do service clients worldwide. Like I work with people all over the States, in the Caribbean. I've had some clients in some places in Africa. So I basically help people with their businesses, whether you want to start a new business or grow your business, with marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing, all of that. And also I help with anything web related or web design related. So whether you want to design a storefront like a Shopify, WordPress, Squarespace, like anything web related, I help with that as well. My website is here, JanelleMcClarty.com. Look at or check out the additional services that I have. But yeah, I think it's been a couple of minutes. I want to get started on this Q&A session so that we can just dive right in and answer the top, let's say 20 to 30 general business questions that have been asked, and I'm just going to answer them and run through them. And as I said, feel free to click that green button below so that you can enter into the live chat, and if you need any clarifications, you can just pop your questions in there. And if you have any additional questions, you can pop them in the chat as well, and hopefully they can get answered in today's session, but if not, we'll definitely try to answer them in part 2. All right, so let's dive right in. Question number 1. This question was asked so many times. What is a business plan and why do I need one? I'm happy this question was asked because a lot of new businesses that I work with don't even have a business plan. Like they get started, get a website, buy a domain, take pictures of their products, post them, make a little money in some cases, but they don't have an actual plan of where is my business going to be, or where do I project it to be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? How am I going to market my business this year, next year? You know, what are my financial projections? Like how much do I plan to make? And how much are my sales going to be Like just having that plan and working towards it, those are the things that are within your business plan. So let me just give you the formal answer that I jotted down. A business plan outlines your company's goals, their strategies, and the tactics. So it serves as a roadmap and helps you secure funding as well. Like that's a big thing. If you're trying to get funding, you definitely need a business plan. Banks, like let's say you want to get funding from a bank, one of the first things they're going to ask you is for a business plan. If you're a nonprofit or in that realm and you're looking to get grants or any funding in that sense, you're going to need a business plan as well, because these companies or people that are going to issue that funding want to see how is this business plan to grow and how do they plan to use this money to help them grow and help them be successful. So I'm happy this question was asked, and I really do feel like every single business needs a business plan, like 100%. So if you don't have a business plan, I actually do have a business plan template. If you click on products and services, you can see on my website, so www.janellemccleary.com, click on the products and services tab on the menu, you'll see the business plan template that I have. It's like a 10-page template. It has all the prompts for you to fill out so that you can make a really in-depth business plan. It's going to ask you questions and then you just answer them. And the more you answer the questions is the more you fill out the template and the more in-depth your plan is. This template, I've used it to obtain grants, a lot of grants successfully. I've used it for other businesses, for their grants as well too. And I've just used it for all the businesses I've had in general. So feel free to take a look at that product, and let me move on to the next question. So question number 2. This question was highly requested again. It is, how do I register my business? So depending on where you're watching this from, if you're in the States or if you're in Canada or just anywhere in the world, it's gonna be different for you. But I'll say in general, this is a general way of registering your business. So you register your business with the appropriate government agencies. You're gonna have to obtain necessary licenses and permits depending on the industry you're in, and you're gonna obtain an employer identification number, so an EIN. So those 3, let's say, areas that I just covered, that's what registering your business is in general. I'll tell you specifically for us Canadians, it depends on if you want to register as a sole proprietorship, partnership, or a corporation. The sole proprietorship and partnership, you can register that easily online through the canada.ca website. And it's probably around $60 to do that, and then you do get your EIN number. You fill out all the appropriate information. It's going to ask you about your name, SIN, just all that general details, and you can get it basically immediately. A corporation, on the other hand, you can do it online yourself as well. It's around $200 or so. There are a couple of different websites that are connected or linked with the government that you can do that through, and I can try to get that on my products and services tab, those links, or you can just ask me in the group chat and I'll forward you the links to those. Once you fill out the same sort of information, the same as a sole proprietorship, but it's a little more in depth, because for corporations you're talking about like shares and percentages, and there's just a lot more in-depth details. You can definitely register it yourself if it's something that's really a really simple corporation. But if there are other people involved and shareholders involved and all that, you can definitely get a lawyer to do it for you, or an accountant. It could run you around $500, $750, or even $1,000 for other people to register it for you. But it's worth it in the end. I guess there's another question that was asked, like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of registering, or not even advantages, what are the differences between registering your business as a sole proprietorship versus a corporation? And I'll just give you a brief overview. Let's say the biggest advantage of registering your business as a corporation over a sole proprietorship is the liability aspect. So you have limited liability if you are registering as a corporation, but as a sole proprietor, you hold all the liability, or as a partnership as well. So I always give an example for, let's say you're a cleaning business. If you go register your cleaning company as a sole proprietorship and you go around and you clean homes or, condos, let's say you accidentally bump into a vase and that vase was an antique and that antique was worth thousands, you are solely responsible and the liability is on you to make sure that that's recovered, right, to the customer. But if you were registered as a corporation and that vase was worth like $1 million, the liability is held with the corporation and not the individual, not you as a person. So that person could sue the corporation and the liability is with the corporation to pay, but they cannot come and take, let's say, your personal property, your personal house, go into your personal bank accounts, anything like that. So with a corporation, the liability is limited. With a sole proprietorship or sole proprietorship or partnership, the liability is fully on the person. So that's the biggest, number one advantage of having a corporation over the others. Number two, I'll say the other side, the advantage of having a sole proprietorship over a corporation is the money, the monetary aspect. Some startups don't want to shell out $500, even $200, or even $1,000 to register that corporation in the beginning. They would rather just spend the $50 or $60 first, maybe because they can't afford it, or you're just starting up. You don't have the funds, or you don't want to use the funds to just register. You want to use it for marketing and other things. So that is the advantage, or one advantage, of registering as a sole proprietorship or partnership, is just the financial part, just the budgeting. But then on the other side, you could start off your business registering it as a sole proprietorship or partnership, and then once you make some money, like even 6 months, a year down the line, you can incorporate your company. So it can be like a process. You could start off here and then incorporate later on. So you can do both. So that was question number, I feel, 2.5. So I answered, how do I register my business? So that depends on which area you're in. But I told you how we do it in Canada. And then I added on what types of business registrations there are, which are sole proprietorship, partnerships, and corporations. Those are the main ones. And then I added on again what are the advantages of each, the top advantage of each. So now we're in the official question number 3. What are the different types of business structures? Oh my gosh, I just answered that. I didn't even look properly. So I just said this. So the 3 different types of business structures are, number 1, a sole proprietorship, number 2, partnership, and number 3, an LLC or corporation. So same thing. We'll skip over to question number 4 now. How do I finance my startup? That's a huge question, because every business needs and wants more money. You don't want to necessarily use only your money to finance your business. So there are other funding options that I listed. So you could finance your startup by exploring some options like venture capital, angel investors. You can do crowdfunding, loans, you can get grants, or bootstrapping. So I listed 5 different ways I'll tell you a little bit, I'll be a little bit more in depth about a few of these ways. So let's look at even the grants. As I was saying previously, in order to get a grant, you would need, first step, a business plan, because these agencies that are giving out the grants, they want to see what is your plan and how do you plan on using the money that they're granting you. Are you going to be successful in your business? Because they don't want to just give you the grant and you just spend it and your business flops. They want to see, do you have a plan, and what is your plan to use this money to grow your business successfully? And I would say that every single funding option that I gave, they're definitely going to be looking at a business plan as number one. Angel investors are going to look at, let me see your business plan, let me see your pitch deck. Venture capitalists are going to look at that as well. If you're applying for a loan at a bank, they're going to look for a business plan. And if you're applying for grants. Crowdfunding, on the other hand, so there's sites like GoFundMe or Indiegogo. You don't need to show a business plan, like an official formal business plan on platforms like that or for crowdfunding, but you should have like a plan of like what are you doing, like sorry about that. So you should have a plan of what you're doing. So basically you have to show the people on the platform that are actually going to raise funds, like what do you plan on doing with the funds that they're giving you. So that you do need a business plan, but just not a formal one. It needs to be more direct to the people or the audience that you're collecting the crowdfunding money from. So yeah, I gave you 5 additional ways to finance your startup. So as I said, venture capital, angel investors, crowdfunding, loans, grants, and actually there's bootstrapping. All right, moving on to question number 5. What is marketing and why is it important? So another very highly requested question, like what is marketing? How do I market? All that stuff, like why is it even important to market your business? So marketing promotes your products and services to a target audience, and marketing drives sales and revenue growth. So a lot of people, like this is from the web design side of things that I'm looking at, the web design side of my business. They ask me to, well, first of all, they have an amazing idea, and the first thing they think is, how do I get people to know more about my idea? So they want a website. Then they call me. Then I make them a website. And then their website is just there. They didn't think about the marketing. Like you need to get this product or service that's on your website, get it in front of the eyes of your target audience. And that's what marketing is. So the more people see your site, see your products, and see your services, the more chances of sales and growth. Some examples of the ways you can market your business is using social media. So there's social media marketing, like posting on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. There's just general like digital marketing, like SEO, search engine optimization. So that's just making sure your website has keywords that are optimized for search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, and all that, so that if someone types in that search term, your website may pop up on page 1 or 2, and then you get more eyes on your company or your business. There's so many ways to market your business, but step number 1 is to do market research. And the market research component is within your business plan. So there's a section within your business plan that deals with all market research. And again, if you need a business plan template, I have one in the products and services tab. If you click on that on my website, you'll see, let's say I think the second to last option is business plan template, and it outlines the entire business plan. It asks you questions, you can fill it out, and once you fill out all the prompts, you'll have a complete business plan. And one section of that is the marketing section. So you definitely need a marketing plan in order to, as I said, promote your products and services and drive sales and revenue growth. We're going to move on to question number 6. One moment. While I'm taking a little water break, you guys, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, like the green button below. I was saying earlier, if you're just new coming in, the green button below is a live WhatsApp chat. You can click on it, get into the live chat and ask any questions that you have or any additional questions or follow-up questions. And you can also connect with each other and network a bit. All right, we're moving on to question number 6. How do I build a strong team? So this is a question that I would say you can start building up a team from the beginning, but I would recommend you actually do all the roles within your business, get familiar with your business in its entirety so that you're able to teach other people how to do the role that you want them to do. That's what's recommended if you're a small business or a startup. So I'll answer the question directly. So how to build a strong team, you're going to have to hire skilled employees or even interns, foster a positive company culture, and provide training and development opportunities. So the training and development, I'd say you would know and get that from doing the role yourself and understanding the role yourself. Then you can train and develop others to do that role. Hiring skilled employees, that is a big thing. So a lot of startups or new entrepreneurs, they tend to hire like friends, family, like just try to go the route that will save them the most money, or, go the route where it's more of an emotional hire instead of like someone who's actually skilled for the role. So you want to look at the skilled part and if the person actually fits the requirements of that role and hire a skilled person. And then having a positive company culture is huge. You don't want to have a negative company culture. You don't want to have an environment where people don't even want to come into work for you or with you. You want to keep things positive so that your company flourishes and people want to stay with you longer, and you don't have like high turnaround where you're hiring and people are quitting because it's just not a positive environment to be. Right, so that's how you build a strong team. We're going to move on to question number 7. What is a unique value proposition? So a lot of people have asked this because it's like the short form is UVP. I was just getting asked a lot, what is a UVP? And that's a unique value proposition. And that, what it is it clearly states your products or services benefits and how it differentiates from its competitors. So let's say this happens a lot where there's a company, or let's say you're within an industry where there's a lot of competition. So for example, let's say you're selling hair. There's like 1,000, even tens of thousands of hair companies in North America, but what makes you unique? So what's your unique value proposition? So whether your unique value proposition is that the quality of your hair or how you source your hair is different from others. What if your unique selling proposition is the speed of how you get your product to the consumer? Let's say you have like 1-day shipping and all the rest take like 10 to 15 days. That's unique as well. And sometimes a unique proposition or value proposition can be just the owner itself. Like me as the person, I'm unique because I'm the person selling this product and you trust me. So that's what's unique about my business compared to buying it from like, sorry, compared to buying it from a vendor that you don't see the owner's face, So a UVP, a unique value proposition, or it's even called a USP, a unique selling proposition, is what makes your product or service more valuable and different from the competitors. We're going to move on to question number 8. And again, if you have any questions about what I just said or what I said previously, in the chat, just let me know. Sorry, my throat is dry because I'm talking so much. We're only on question number 8, so let's go. Question number 8, how do I create a sales strategy? So, again, another highly requested question. I'll run through the answer. So, how you create a sales strategy: number 1, you have to identify your target audience. Number 2, you have to develop a sales process. Number 3, you have to establish sales goals and metrics. So that's it. So who's your target audience? Like, are you selling to females, males? Are you selling to people only locally, internationally? Just figure out who is your target audience specifically. Develop a sales process. So how are you going to actually sell? Like, what's your selling strategy? And then establish your sales goals and metrics. So how much are you going to sell on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis? That's how you create a sales strategy, those 3 things. Question number 9, very important. So what is customer service and why is it important? So it's not specifically like the what is customer service part of the question, it's the why is it important part. Customer service has been a growing, let's say, field or area within a business, and people have been taking it more and more seriously. And I think a lot has to do with social media, with people blasting companies that have poor customer service, and those companies are actually taking it seriously and improving their customer service, which improves their sales and their business in general. So I'll tell you the answer to that question. The formal answer: customer service builds trust, it resolves issues, and ensures customers have loyalty and satisfaction within the company. So that's why it's important, and that's what customer service is in a nutshell. So you definitely want to take that part of your business as a startup or as a new entrepreneur very seriously. You want to make sure that you establish a trust with all of your customers because they're all going to be new. You want to have that trust, build that trust so that they can hopefully use you again or buy from you again. You want to resolve issues that they have. So if they do have an issue, resolve it in a timely manner and in a professional manner. And you just want to ensure, as I said, that customers feel the loyalty and satisfaction once they are using your product or service or just interacting with your business. So I take customer service very important. I love to interact with my clients within 24 hours or less, or I would say 1 business day or less, like when it comes to answering or responding their emails, text messages, anything. I want to make sure I answer any question that they have, and if I don't know, I do the research and provide them with some sort of answer or some guidance and clarity. And I just want to make sure that at the end of the day, no matter what, that they're satisfied with the product or service that I'm offering. So customer service is very, very important. All right, the next question is, how do I manage finances and cash flow? So that's very important. Just the financial aspect of a business in general is important. So managing the finance and cash flow is highly important as well. So I'll give you some tips on how to do that. So number 1 is to track your expenses. Very important. So If you're new to business, let's say all your expenses, make sure they're organized and you track them. You can use apps to do that. If you want a list of a couple of apps that I've used in the past to track my business expenses, let me know in the chat, the green button, click that, and I can just send you some links to some apps that I've used. Or I use Excel, an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll just track the expenses on a monthly basis. Take another sip. Another way that I manage finances and cash flow is to create a budget. So again, when creating a budget, I specifically use a budgeting template on an Excel spreadsheet, but there are apps that you can use to create a budget, and I can send you links to those as well. Just let me know. You can let me know in the chat, or actually you can send me an email as well to hello@JanelleMcClarty.com, and you just email me your questions. I'll respond that way if you're not available to chat. Another way that you can manage your finances and cash flow within your business is to manage accounts receivable and accounts payable and maintain a cash reserve. So these last two tips, I would say if you don't have an accountant, like accountants definitely would do that for you. But if not, you can use other apps to do this. The apps are going to be similar to the apps that you use to track your expenses. They can manage your accounts receivables and payables as well. I'll give you one example. That would be like QuickBooks. Like QuickBooks definitely does all of what I just said. Tracks expenses, creates budgets, and manages accounts payables and receivables. So that's the, let's say, simple answer to how do I manage finances and cash flow. But when you grow your business, you're gonna want to get like a bookkeeper or an accountant to handle this, because it's gonna get a lot, like, let's say it's gonna get, I don't want to use the word overwhelming, but it's just gonna be a whole nother area of your business that you want to make sure is done properly and correctly. So you want a professional to do it. And I would recommend, as I said, looking into a bookkeeper or an accountant. Going to move on to the next question. What are KPIs? So KPIs, that's been like, I just seen that question a lot. KPIs, what does that mean? What are they? And what KPI stands for, first off, is key performance indicators. And what is a key performance indicator? It's something that measures the business's performance such as revenue growth, customer acquisitions, and retention rates. So getting into KPIs, that's something I would go more in depth on another video if you do have further questions on that. But it's something that, let's say if you hire a social media marketer or someone in that realm, like a digital marketing professional, they use KPIs or key performance indicators to mark their metrics of how, like, they're measuring the business's performance through KPIs. So I gave you the general definition of what it is and how it's used, but if you want something more in depth, I'm definitely going to be making a video on that, a separate video. Question number 12, how do I protect my intellectual property? So that is a very good question. I'll give you a few different ways you could do that. So number one, you could use patents. You can trademark, copyright. You can have non-disclosure agreements or NDAs to safeguard your IP. So those are some main, I say the top few ways you can protect your intellectual property. If you want more in-depth information on how to even use a patent, trademark, copyright, or obtain a non-disclosure agreement or get one properly written for you, that's something you would definitely consult with a lawyer on, specifically a business lawyer or corporate lawyer. And I could definitely connect you with a few I work with if you do want that connection, but they work with Canadian clientele, just let me know in the chat or send me a quick email to, again, my email is hello@janellemclarty.com. The next question, what is a competitive analysis? So, competitive analysis, you analyze competitor strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So it's like a SWOT analysis. The specifics of these areas can be found in your business plan. So you definitely have to do a competitor analysis within your business plan. So you're looking at who are your key competitors, what are their strengths. So you want to outline their strengths. You want to outline your competitors' weaknesses. You want to outline some areas of opportunity, and you want to outline some threats. Once you do that, you can see in a clear view areas that you can work on. As you know, this is your competitor. How can you benefit? All right, so we had just a little technical error or glitch right now, but back. We were on question number 13. So we're talking about the competitive analysis. I already answered that. So you just outlined your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and those different specific questions in those areas can be found within your business plan to give you an overall scope of how you can improve your business based on your competitors and the analysis of your competitors. How you can, like, it's going to tell you what are the strengths of your competitors, like how you can mimic that and be strong just like your competitors. What are the weaknesses of your competitors so that you can not have those weaknesses. What are some opportunities you can look into that your competitors have missed out on, and what are some threats? All right, so we're going to move on to the next question. All right, so we're back. We had a little technical glitch, but we're back. We're going to move on to the next question, which is how do I build a strong online presence? So you can build a strong online presence by number one, which I definitely recommend, which since I'm a web designer, is developing a website. So developing a website is, let's say, the first way you can build a stronger online presence. You can hire a developer like myself, or you can use platforms. There are some user-friendly platforms that are out there, like Squarespace, Wix, Shopify is very user-friendly. WordPress, not so much, but it's possible for you to get the hang of it and build something. But I don't know, if you're new to just designing, it's not that user-friendly. Another way you can build a stronger online presence is through social media. So you can use platforms like, as I said before, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok is on the rise right now, Facebook, Instagram, all that. That helps you build a stronger online presence, but actually engaging within those platforms helps you out as well. And lastly, another way to build a strong online presence is through SEO, which is search engine optimization. So just getting your website optimized for the search engines, that will help your website be on page 1 or even page 2 is very good. And that will get your website in front of more eyes, which will and then build you a stronger online presence. All right. Next question. What is a business model canvas? So I got asked that question a lot, and I'll just give you the direct answer. So a business model canvas is just a visual tool that outlines your business model, and includes revenue streams, cost structures, and customer segments. If you want to see in traditional or just how a business model canvas looks, again, you can just let me know in the chat and I can send you like an actual image of how something like that would look. Or you can email me at hello@janellemclarty.com and I can forward you a business model canvas. I'd recommend just asking through the chat because there might be other people who want to know as well. And I can just answer all your questions one time since it is a group chat. The next question, what is an MVP? So I'll tell you what it stands for and what it is. So an MVP is a minimal viable product. And I'll let you know what it is and why it's important. So an MVP is a product with enough features to satisfy early customers and provide feedback for future development. So I see people in the tech space use this a lot. Like, let's say you want to build an MVP for your app. So it's just like building the basic features and structures of an app so that people can just use it and give you a lot of feedback so that you can further develop it. So I see MVP used a lot in the tech space. Let's say just in general, you're just a regular like company in another industry. Let's say you're in the food industry or caterer. So you want to create the best, let's say top 3 recipes for your company and just get that out to customers to get their feedback and develop your recipes for the future. So the MVP would be just developing those basic features and it helps you to just develop and grow. So that's what an MVP is, a minimum viable product. The next question is, how do I create a successful pitch deck for investors? I learned how to create a pitch deck, I would say like a few years ago. I have an official pitch deck template. If you want access to that, I can give it to you. Just let me know in the chat. But I'll let you know what a pitch deck is. So it's a way you can develop a clear, concise, and compelling presentation that showcases your business ideas, your market potential, and growth prospects. So let's say, to keep it short, I feel like a pitch deck is like a very simplified version of your business plan on a very like easy to swipe through version. It's usually in a presentation format with slides. So it's like a deck, and I would say it's between like 10 to 15. Sometimes it could be 20 slides, but it shouldn't be too many, but it has to be, as I said, clear, concise, and compelling. And it's what you present to investors. So as I said, it can showcase your business ideas, let the investors know, okay, what's your market potential and how you plan to grow this business. Those are the goals of a pitch deck. The next question is, what is a sales funnel and how do I optimize it? And that question got asked a lot. The word sales funnel, like I've just seen it a lot, and I'm going to answer that. Been talking a lot. Okay, so a sales funnel represents the customer journey, starting from lead to conversion. So that's what a sales funnel is. It's like a funnel. So imagine like that's the funnel. You have 100 or 10 or 1,000 leads that are up here, and then you funnel them down to actually sales, like how many of those leads convert into an actual sale, and it goes through the funnel. So you can optimize a sales funnel by streamlining the stages. So from lead to sales, like you streamline how those stages progress. You can optimize it by reducing friction. So if you see anywhere in the funnel that has friction or anything that is hindering people from getting from the lead stage to conversion, you need to try to reduce that in order to optimize your sales funnel. And you optimize your sales funnel by improving your conversion rates. So your conversion rate is the rate of like how many leads you have versus how many of those leads turn into sales. So if you have one lead and that one lead turns into a sale, your conversion rate is 100%. So you want to get the higher conversion rate, the better. So yeah, those are just the basics of what a sales funnel is and how you optimize it. If you have any specifics or any more in-depth questions about that, again, let me know in the chat. Next question is, how do I build strategic partnerships and collaborations? That is a highly requested question, and I'll let you know the answer to that. So how you can build strategic partnerships and collaborations is through identifying complementary businesses, developing mutually beneficial agreements, and nurturing relationships through open communication and trust building. So identifying complementary businesses is very ideal. So I'll give you an example. If I'm creating a partnership, a strategic partnership, and trying to collaborate with people within my field, so I'm a web designer, a complementary business to web designers would be a graphic designer, or even companies that provide business cards, maybe. So I'm looking for people or complementary businesses that have the same target audience as myself. So I'm looking for people, as a web designer, I'm looking for people who are interested in building websites for their businesses. And a lot of these businesses are new because they don't have an online presence already. So what else do new business owners do? They build websites, they get business cards, they buy, let's say, door hangers if they're trying to promote their business. They buy other marketing or graphic related services. So I want to find and identify what other complementary businesses are related to my business so I can build strategic partnerships and collaborations. And as I was saying before, another way you can build strategic partnerships and collaborations is through developing mutually beneficial agreements. So after I find these complementary businesses, I can make an agreement that's mutually beneficial. So for this business card shop, every person that they refer to me that orders business cards, I can give them a kickback or a commission off of that website that I charged. And the same, I can refer to them, like anyone that I build a website for, I'll refer them to purchase business cards, and I can get a kickback from them. So it has to be mutually beneficial, and you have to create that agreement. And then, as I said, so you have to, once you find these complementary businesses, develop an agreement that's mutually beneficial, continue to nurture the relationship so that you can just have something that's going for the long haul. You don't want to find someone to work with and only work with them for a month or 2 months or 6 months. You want to work with people and partner with them for hopefully years. Okay? All right. The next question. What is a cash flow forecast and why is it essential? So a cash flow forecast predicts your business's future financial inflows and outflows. It helps manage liquidity, it helps identify potential shortfalls, and it helps you to make informed decisions. I believe that's pretty self-explanatory, and if you do have any more in-depth question about what a cash flow forecast is, let me know. And this is actually part of your business plan. You're gonna have to create a balance sheet, a cash flow forecast. I believe you can create an income statement as well. But these are things within a business plan, and they do help you a lot. So again, if you do need access to a business plan template, again, just click on the products and services tab above on my website, JanelleMcClary.com. On the last list, I think it's in the second to last section of my products and services page, you'll see business plan template, and you can purchase that there so that you can develop a business plan. Let's move on to the next question. How do I develop a strong company culture? So you can do this by, number one, defining your values. Then define your mission. Like, what's your mission statement? Then define your vision. So what is your vision statement? So you need your values, mission, and vision statements. So those are like That's number one, area number one. One second. Another way to establish a strong company culture is to foster an inclusive, supportive environment and encourage open communication, collaboration, and continuous learning. So those, again, are pretty self-explanatory, but it's like hand in hand. So part one, where I said define your mission, value, and vision statements. Once you know those three things, and then you're able to relay that to your entire company in general, like the people you work with, your subcontractors, your employees, your interns, like everyone needs to be on the same page. That's step one of building or establishing a strong company culture. But once you have those three things defined, you need to do step two, which I just said is make things more inclusive and supportive and have a open, encouraging, collaborative environment. Those two things together will definitely establish a strong company culture. The next question, how do I protect my business from legal risks and liabilities? So that was a question that was asked a lot. Like I've seen just a lot of people like just worried about the legal side of things and just protecting themselves when it comes to their business. And the number one answer that I can give you is to consult with a legal professional. That's one way that you can protect your business from legal risks and liabilities. It's always good to just have a legal professional on hand and just consult with them on next steps, or even not even next steps. You can consult with them before anything happens so that you can just know how to protect yourself beforehand. Another way you can protect your business from legal risks and liabilities is to develop comprehensive policies, and you can maintain necessary insurance coverage to mitigate potential legal issues. So those are a few ways you can protect your business from legal risks. The next question, how do I measure and improve my website's user experience or UX? So even though this is a web-related question, I got it asked a lot. People just want to know in general, like business owners in general, or even startups, they want to know how to improve and measure the user experience of their website, like how users are actually experiencing it and how they can like develop it or make it better for them. The answer to that is to conduct user testing. That's one way. Through that testing, you can gather feedback, you can analyze metrics. So you can see the metrics on the back end of the web platforms. You want to analyze like metrics like the bounce rate or conversion rates. Sorry. So the bounce rate is how many users actually stay on the site, or how many users go on the site and then bounce off, like within a certain time frame. And the conversion rate is how many users come on the site versus how many users actually purchase or buy the product or service on your site, like how many users actually convert. So you need to analyze those metrics to improve the website's user experience. The users. You need to analyze those metrics so that you can measure and improve your website's user experience. And another way you can do that is by looking at the design and functionality improvements. So there are things on your website design-wise that you can change, and it can drastically improve your website's user experience. So I would say one thing that I see so much that is very annoying for users that can be changed so like in 1 minute is, imagine going onto a website and you're looking forward to buying something or reading something or just accessing something, and as soon as you press enter, boom, you see a pop-up for a newsletter, like when in the first second. That's very distracting, and it could be very annoying to get that pop-up immediately. So it's ideal to delay that pop-up to 30 seconds is pretty average, 20, 30 seconds. or you can use it, you can make the pop-up come as an exit pop-up. So if someone scrolls to press X, then the pop-up will come for the newsletter or whatever offer. But it drastically improves the user's experience to not have those pop-ups come immediately. Let us have a chance to browse around the site, see if we even like the site, see if we like your products and services before you pop up with an offer or a newsletter or anything. So that's just one little element of how you can improve your website's user experience on the design side. Let's move on to the next question. Yeah, this actually looks like the last question. What is an exit strategy and why is it important? So an exit strategy outlines your plan for transitioning out of the business, such as through a sale, a merger, acquisition, or succession. And why it's important is it helps ensure a smooth transition and maximizes returns. So this is important, and I just saw this question a couple of times and I decided to include it in this webinar. Having an exit strategy is highly important, and it's something that new business owners or startups don't really think about because you're just getting started. But even though you're just getting started, it is good to just have a thought of how what your exit strategy would look like. Think about it from the beginning. You don't have to have it ironed out completely, but just to have a plan outlined for transitioning out of your business is a good idea. You don't want to be working forever and ever. You want to know, okay, what is a way I can get this business set up, and what is a good strategy that I can transition out of it and either sell this business, I can merge, I can have it acquired, or I can pass it on to my, family, my kids, anything. So thinking about that from the beginning and outlining a plan is a good idea. And as I said, it's important because it just helps ensure a smooth transition, and it does help with maximizing returns as well. All right, so those are the top. I think I went through a little bit over 20 questions. I am going to be taking more questions for part 2. So if you do have any further questions or even follow-up questions that you would like answered, feel free again. I'm going to have the chat open for a little bit longer after this webinar, and we can still continue the chat and answer questions there. And then if there are any really good questions or in-depth questions that I think are good for a part 2, I'm going to take them from the chat and put them in part 2. But if you do, once the chat closes and once this webinar closes, if you do have any further questions, feel free to email me. You can email me at hello@janellemclarty.com. And I'd also like to let you know that we have these webinars every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the evenings. It's going to start somewhere around 6:30 p.m. And we have webinars on business. So Tuesdays are usually the business webinars, Wednesdays are the website webinars, and Thursdays are, I think, more of the marketing webinars. So look out for the next webinar in the evenings. So whether it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, around 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And you can just access it by going to janellemclarty.com and clicking on the webinars tab, and you can access the webinars there. All the webinars do have the live chat feature that's going to be open by clicking on that green button. And I do want to outline the services that I do offer. So if you click on the products and services tab above, you're going to see that I do have the webinars, as I said, the free webinars that you can access every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings. And I also have support groups. So we have the Shopify support group, which I can discuss a bit more in our Thursday webinars if you go to the web design webinars. But then I have the Black Business Support Group, which I'll discuss a bit right now. So it's just for Black entrepreneurs that are looking for a supportive community to help them grow or just start a new business. So our Black Business Support Group offers a comprehensive suite of resources and benefits to help you achieve your business goals. So I'll tell you what the support group is. So it's a 24/7 private WhatsApp group chat. So you can get access to this group chat to connect with like-minded entrepreneurs, ask any of your business related questions within this group chat, and get feedback from not only myself, but other business professionals as well. You get a free business plan template. So the one I was telling you about before, it is a paid template, but once you join the Black Business Support Group, you do get it for free. You also get 24/7 email support, so feel free to email in any of your business related questions and get prompt assistance from our dedicated support team whenever you need it. And then there are networking opportunities by being a part of this private WhatsApp group chat, so you can connect with potential business partners, potential investors, and even customers to help you grow your network. And there's so much more within this community, Black Business Support Group. So if you want to access it, you can click on the products and services tab and you'll see Black Business Support Group. You can click on that product, and it is $20 a month to join this support group. But again, you get access to a lot of helpful resources to help you grow your business or even just start a new business. So that's one thing I definitely wanted to highlight today. And I think that's pretty much everything for this webinar. So again, we are going to have the next webinar on Wednesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and we are going to keep the group chat open for another, I don't know, maybe 15-20 minutes or so. So if you do have any additional questions, feel free to just continue chatting there once I end this webinar session, and just check out my products and services at JanelleMcClary.com, and let me know if you have any further questions. I would love to answer them, and I will see you in the next webinar. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and wishing you a successful business journey. All right, guys, bye, and I'll see you in the group chat.